Happy almost 2022. It's Monday. My first Monday post-Christmas. Happy almost 2022.
Are you going to say that every day this week?
Yes, pretty much. Because we're getting so close. It's so close.
I've decided, I think that we should, like everybody waits till January 1st to start their resolutions. Or it's like, okay, that's the day we're gonna put our foot down, and by God, this is the day we're going for it, And it's like, why not just start on the 26th?
I mean, right. Because really, on New Year's Eve, it's not like Christmas, you tear it up with dinners and you have all your aunt's pies and all that. If that's what your New Year's resolution is to lose weight, start on the 26th. Because the New Year's Eve, you have cocktails. It's not like you tear it up culinarily speaking.
That's a big word for you.
Yeah. Right? I mean, that's a good point. We should just slide into it.
Let's just do it. And it's so weird too, because I was talking to a couple of people that I ran into some people I knew at the grocery store, and they're the same way. It's like, it does not even feel like Christmas happened. It just
so weird. Right.
It was 50 degrees. I was running around barefoot outside.
Right. It's so weird. I mean, Beth is the biggest Christmas music honk in the world, loves whatever movies. We didn't watch one Christmas movie this year and hardly listen to any Christmas music.
Oh my God.
Right. And it's just because it doesn't feel like Christmas.
No, it's true. I did watch It's a Wonderful Life because I have to watch that every year. That and Family Man. Have you ever watched that one?
Oh, with Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a good movie.
It's basically the updated quote unquote version of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, it is a good movie. I mean, that's one of my Nick Cage movies that I do like.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. It is.
Good, thank you. Because that I did watch that. But no, I didn't watch any others.
We watched the opposite of Christmas. We watched a lot of murder, and we watched I don't know if you've seen Dope Sick yet on Hulu, but we watched that is unbelievable.
Yeah. It really
have one episode left to go, but I mean, Michael Keaton's genius.
Isn't he?
Oh my gosh.
And he's good as it's like in part of it, he's kind of a bad guy, and then but he's such a grump. He's such a grump. He plays a good, dark character. Which is just, it's hard to believe because then I'm like, wait, isn't he the guy that played,
Yeah.
His range is amazing.
Yeah.
But to see him in that role, and just to hear the testimony, because a lot of that's stuff that really happened.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy. Damn. It's crazy. I mean, I remember being in situations where I heard doctors saying that to people I was with, the same stuff, the same talking points and the pain charts and all this stuff. And I thought, man, that's crazy that's what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's
scary.
why I think when you combine, I'm surprised, honestly, because conspiracy theorist that I am, or conspiracy realist, whatever you want to call me. Anyway, but to me, it's kind of surprising that it was released.
Yeah.
And especially now, because you're having so many, because so many people are having trust issues with not only the government, but big pharma.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And on top of that, and then you throw this out there and it's like, well, God, come on, and I actually had heard somebody else talking about that same topic, and they were saying, it's all our lives. We've been told, big pharma is out for themselves. They're out to make a buck. They're out to make some money. They're, XYZ, blah, 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 and going on and on. And now we're supposed to completely trust them.
Yeah.
And then you see a headline that says something like, who was it? The CEO of Pfizer was named CNN's Business CEO of the Year. It's like, what?
I mean, come on.
What?
It's like some of that stuff is the same things that are happening now that you look back on the Dope Sick and you think, duh. I mean, these people are spinning this less addictive, blah, blah, blah. And it's like hearing them say this, you're like, that is obviously not true. So it kind of really mirrors what's going on, a lot of what's going on now.
Yeah. And you can't blame people that are saying, I don't want to be coming from big Pfizer, from Pfizer, Moderna, whatever you want to, any of the big pharma companies, and realizing also how much money they've made.
Yeah.
And realizing how much more money they're going to make because it's all paid for. And whenever I see the shots are free, it's like, no, we actually paid for that.
Yeah. Nothing's free. Just like the check you get at the end of the month isn't free. Some people are paying for that check and it's needed. There are programs 100%, but it's not free.
And so that check was already written. So they're getting guaranteed money. And they're just they don't care, one way or the other. They just want to keep it going. In my opinion, it's going to continue on. It's hard to shut that faucet off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's too much money involved.
So Dope Sick, I would say, do yourself a favor, whether you're like me or not. But regardless of that, just watch it, because just to watch Keaton it's just good. Treat.
It's just a good movie. I just don't recommend because yesterday morning I got my booster shot. I don't recommend watching that while you're because my booster shot kicked me in the ditch, and watching that while you're seeing people go through violent withdrawal on TV, and here I am shaking and sweating. Because of the stupid booster. So maybe the timing wasn't the best.
Probably not a good time to watch it.
That booster shot kicked my butt. Oh my gosh.
I've heard of a couple people that have had the same.
My second shot kicked my butt too. And then I saw I read a whole bunch of stuff on it that's saying that you get better coverage, whatever. If you got Pfizer, then get the Moderna, whatever booster, or vice versa. So that's what I did. And, yeah, it didn't. This in the stories that I read, it's like, the reaction's not as bad. Well, that's a big old BS flag.
Yeah, it is. It's. I think everybody is unique, and everybody's experience is completely different. I don't think they can put a label on it and just say, "Oh, this one's better," or "This one's easier," or "This is." You know what I mean? I
just don't get it. I don't get it because Beth had nothing, sore arm. And then last night, if I had found a pen, I would have written a will on a napkin. And at one point I thought, I'm going to lay here. I got to close my eyes because I don't want her to walk down and find me dead with my eyes open. Like, I felt that bad. A little dramatic, but it was rough.
Sure you had your socks on, your pants were on.
Yes.
You were in and you closed your eyes. That's very thoughtful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want her to be traumatized forever. So
that is still to this day. I know we talked about that so long ago about, flipping channels and you're watching whatever on TV and maybe the national cheerleading championships were on or whatever it was you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then thinking as you're sitting there and you're just in your underpants, watching this with one sock on and thinking if you had a heart attack right now, and that's how they found you with cheerleading championships on, and there you are in your recliner.
Like you're just sitting down to get dressed to go to go out, and you're right in mid underwear, and you click it on. It's the cheerleader champion or the 13-year-old girl spelling bee or whatever, and you're sitting there with your whiteys halfway around your ankles and just passed out, ass up in the air. You die as a perv. I don't care what you lived like the early parts of your life. You died a perv.
You will be one of the stories that the EMTs tell.
Yes.
To their friends.
They're like, right. The plunger. You fell on the plunger. Right, dirtbag.
This guy watching the 13. Yeah, that's where you'd fall right into that story.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I think about that every once in a while, like when I'm getting ready, all of a sudden I realize, damn it, I left that in the dryer and I have to run downstairs to get something in the dryer. And I'm not completely dressed. It's like, do not slip on the steps.
Yep. You fall.
Knock yourself out.
You break your leg. It's going to be an awkward conversation when the EMTs come in. Totally. So that's why you wonder some of these people that do die and they're in situations where you're like, ooh, that's not very flattering. Maybe it's something like that happened to them.
Right. But nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to think that. You just instantly go to the most awkward and disgusting and uncomfortable. Yeah. So another funny story. I would post a picture if it wasn't so vile. So I remember a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago, a year or so ago, when Fremont Fred gifted me that mug? with the most famous large penis gif of all time on it. And one side of the mug said, I like my coffee black. And the other side of the cup had the GIF. It's hilarious. It's great. So, and I've never used it. I always kept it on my desk. I always had it at home, whatever. I loved it. No, you used it, Pat.
Well, not for beverages.
To its most advantageous way. The most advantageous way that you
But not for beverages.
Way worth more than holding coffee.
Very true. Very true. But it never had a beverage in it.
Right.
So, and Bennett loves it. Absolutely think it's the funniest thing in the world. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it to him in his stocking. I'm going to gift it to my son on Christmas. No. Everybody just leave their judgments aside. Because he's a 19-year-old boy and he thinks it's hilarious. I think it's funny. So we did. I put it in there. He loved it. Loved it so much that he got out of the stocking on Christmas morning. 2 hours later, we were going to my mom's for Christmas lunch. And I told him, I'm like, bring it. Just bring it and see if anybody notices. So we told everybody that was there, don't say anything. We're going to see if my mom notices.
Oh my God.
So everybody was in on it. Nobody, whatever. So there's a picture of it sitting on our table with like beautiful table settings, whatever. And then bonk, there's that big cup right in the middle.
Oh my God.
And so at one point we're in the middle of dinner and she still hadn't noticed. And he's sitting there drinking out of it, this bright yellow cup.
It is neon yellow.
It is just like, especially amongst a sea of red and green, it's like boom, yellow. So finally, Bennett's like, Grandma, can you get me some ice? And she's like, sure. She's already up. So he hands her the cup, weenie towards her, hands her the cup. And she grabs it and like, oh, it's talking and not even paying attention. Scoops some ice in there. And my dad's like, no, Barb, you need to turn because she had turned the cup around. He goes, turn the cup around. It's not, the ice isn't going in right. And obviously it doesn't make sense. And she's like, what are you talking about? What ice going in right? So she rotates the cup all the way 360. Doesn't see it. Puts it in, starts handing it back to Bennett. And finally we had to point it out. And she almost passed out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's almost like she knew. And she was driving you crazy by not acknowledging it.
You would maybe, but I don't think so.
I almost want to give her credit for it because just turning the cup of 360, for God's sake, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the room goes,
yeah. Oh, yeah. We were all like, Mom. Oh, yeah. It was funny.
So did you get any Christmas pictures with it?
Yeah. Oh, well, I got one picture of it sitting on the table. And I should have had a picture with her. She wouldn't have done it. Because she thinks that everything that I do goes on Snapchat, which doesn't. I don't even have a Snapchat. So she would definitely think that.
I like how you have to clarify that.
Yeah.
Because at one point you may have.
I may have one time at one point, but I don't anymore. Too much work.
Oh my God. Well, things are pretty quiet around here. But I started a project and I'm almost done with it and I will take pictures, but so far nothing bad has happened. I am putting a barn door, like the rolling ones.
Sweet.
On my bathroom door in my master bedroom. And I'm doing it myself. I went and picked it up this morning.
Wow.
And I'm putting it up. And if this mother trucker is crooked when I get done, I'm going to be so pissed.
You just got to call one of your contractor buddies to go over and fix it.
But I'm like, how hard can it be?
It can't be that hard. I mean, it's brackets and you just got to make sure it's level.
Level. That's all I got to do is make sure it's level. And it's pre-drilled to attach the wheels or the rollers. And you just got to get the track put up. Right. That's all I got to do. If I mess that up, I'm going to die.
Yeah, you can't. You'll get it. You'll be fine.
So I've got all the hardware is attached to the door. I've got everything measured out and marked. And I just have to start drilling. So
good luck. Make sure you send that picture over. We need to see that picture. Post that picture.
I'm super excited because I've hated the stupid door in the bathroom because, well, first off, that door never gets shut because there's no reason in the master bedroom. I mean, it's like in the first place, but on the second place, it's just me and Jack. Yeah. And a couple cats. And
yes, you don't need, if you're blowing it up, you don't need to close the door. Yeah.
In other words. But yeah, I guess sometimes you want to get Jack out of the room, but he's such a German Shepherd when it comes to that. I've seen the memes and I didn't realize how true it is. They cannot leave you alone.
If you're pooping?
Doesn't matter where you are.
Oh, they just can't leave you alone.
Right next to you all the time. And if you're in the bathroom, they're in the bathroom. Standing there staring at you awkwardly.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Are you done?
Are you done? Let's go. You done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
I mean, the other dogs never, ever used to do it. They didn't care. He's always got to be within eye shot of me.
That's hilarious. You done? Yeah. You done? You done? You done?
God. Yeah. So he went with me to Lowe's today. He was pretty chill.
Oh, I bet he loves getting out and doing that stuff.
Yeah, he does. It was fun. So all good. So yeah, other than that, everything is good then. Well, take it easy. At least you've got a few days to recuperate.
I do. Yeah. I mean, this morning I felt awesome. I got up and I felt like I had a headache still, but my aches were gone. And then about noon today, again, I started feeling like just kind of again, like I did yesterday. And it's about that 24-hour window. So usually when it hits 24 hours, you're done. So I'm just kind of sweaty and gross and
son of a butt.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
God damn.
And I'm a total pussy anyway, but
well, we'll take it easy.
I will.
Let me know if you're still feeling shitty tomorrow morning.
I will. If I am, I'm going to go to the doctor because I shouldn't be. I should be fine.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's Pat and JT.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.